A, i siedzą i ja jestem nad nimi, to ja zawsze sobie kucnę, nie?
Jesteś nad nimi?
No,
A, jak siedzą, jak siedzą. Okej. No to raczej siedzą. Ale to leżają.
Okay guys, if you're here for an English tour, if you can come a little bit closer please. Thank you so much. Now, welcome everyone, and as you can see, it's quite a good sized group in here, so for better comfort and for a better experience for everyone, we're going to do two smaller groups, okay? My colleague in here is going to divide you. We don't count people in here, okay? So in case you want to split up with your friends for like 2 hours, that would be perfectly fine. You're going to reunite again at the end, okay? So no worries about that. See, immediately the split. Okay, now go in the middle.
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay. Okay, good. That was the perfect split. Okay, let's march.
This is coming with me.
And the other part left, follow me.
Ja nawet wolę.
Jego możesz nataczać.
Jego możesz nagrywać. Mamy tutaj gwiazdę wieczoru.
Bo on to chyba lubi.
No.
Nie? Co?
Chcesz takie topanki?
To jak ma ona? Też to może do plawania.
Ale popatrz na prawdzie, to ja na malarze.
Ale super pogoda.
Ale dobrze, że mam sandały, to sobie sandały biorę. Bo jednak... Ja myślałam o zimowych butach, znaczy zimowych. Takich but. Tylko nie będę robiła. Tutaj jest fajny widok, jak za tym koniem, widzisz? Jakie wzgórza. Trzeba będzie zrobić fotkę też. Ale to wrócimy do... Ja by się kupię płatać.
Okay? First of all, I want to thank you all that have chosen Albania as your destination for your holidays. I'm pretty sure here you're going to have an amazing experience. And we'll go back to your country, we'll go back with good memories, and you will recommend this country so more and more people will come. My name is Arbor, and I'm going to be your tour guide for today. I was born in 1984 in a city located in southeast of Albania, and I'm living in Tirana since 2002. Here, I'm graduated as an English teacher, even though I've never worked as an English teacher before. But I'm working as a tour guide since 2008. I'm a guide with a lot of experience, with a lot of qualification. I got a master's degree in tourism. I got also the badge of the Ministry of Tourism, and I'm qualified as a national guide, which I do round trips from north to south Albania. So, in the end of the tour, if someone of you may want some suggestions, I will give all the suggestions about the place to visit and maybe some place to avoid as well. Okay? I'm married and I've got a kid. I got a kid of 4 years old. Now, since you all may know, this is called the free walking tour of Tirana. And like all around the world, these kinds of tours are based on donation. What do I mean with that? If you think at the end of the tour that you had an amazing experience with me and I did a great job, the donation are appreciated. The donation can be in euro, in lakh, in dollars, it doesn't matter. If someone of you run out of cash or just have some small coins in their pocket, I may say to him that I accept also credit cards, Bitcoin, Rolex, the original one, because I got a lot of fake one. Stock options, and maybe one day, maybe a check of $10,000. You never know. You never know. Seriously, guys, since all the guides that do this kind of tour got a lot of experience, a lot of qualifications, two are the things that this kind of tour still exists. The first one is the passion that we have for the tour, for this job, and the second one are the donations. Without these two things, this kind of tour wouldn't exist. Okay? We are not paid from the government or from the municipality. This is a private tour, so the donations are the only thing that we take from the tour. Okay? Now, before we start, we have to make a deal. If someone of you during this tour would have a question regarding Albanian mafia, corruption, drugs in here, prostitutes, I don't know. What do you think? Are you allowed to make this kind of questions in a tour?
No.
Okay, since we are a democratic country, I love when people make me question. One thing is important in a tour. There are not stupid questions, or because of this you can make any kind of question. Okay? Please do not hesitate. Just make me any kind of question. Do we have a deal? Okay. Now, before I start speaking about Tirana, I have to say something about Albania as well. Albania is a country located in southeast of Europe and southwest of Balkanic Peninsula. A country with 2.5 million inhabitants in here. But the number of the Albanians outside Albania, we never know. If we take in consideration 2 million living in Kosovo, 600,000 North Macedonia, 1 million in Greece, 1 million in Italy, around 3 million in Turkey, then United States, Australia, Great Britain, the number can reach till 10 million. The capital and the most important city of Albania is the city of Tirana, but we have also some other important cities like Durrës, 40 kilometers away from here, Shkodër, the most important city of North Albania, Saranda, Gjirokastra, Vlora in South Albania. Albania shares its borders with Montenegro, with Kosovo, with North Macedonia, with Greece, and on the west coast we have two seas, Ionian Sea and the Adriatic Sea, which are part of the Mediterranean Sea. In front of us there is the state of Italy. Something about the Albanian language. The Albanian language is one of the oldest languages in the world. It's a unique one. There is no language similar to the Albanian language. Now I'm going to say something in Albanian. Hello in English, Shkemi in Albania. Or hi in English, Shkemi in Albania. Shkemi, okay? Yes in English, po in Albanian. Po. No in English, yo in Albania. Yo. This is one of the most difficult one. Thank you in English. Faleminderit in Albania. Faleminderit in Albania. Okay. In our alphabet we have 36 letters. It's very difficult for you to learn and to understand the Albanian language. It's very easy for us to learn and to understand the other languages. Something about the Albanian history. If we go back at the 7th century BC, this was the region of the Illyrian tribes. They were called like that. They were located from North Greece of nowadays till Slovenia. At the beginning, this country was conquered from the Roman Empire, after that from the Byzantine Empire, after that from the Bulgarian Empire, again from the Byzantine Empire, after that from the Serbian Empire. From the 13th to the 14th century we had the presence of the Republic of Venice, and from the 15th century the country was occupied from the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans stayed here for 5 centuries and we could proclaim our independence only in 1912. And since that day we are an independent country. From 1920 till 1941 we had some good relationship with the Italian fascists. The Italians came here and in 20 years they did more than the Ottomans did in 5 centuries. Okay? When the Second World War finished, the communists came to power. Do you know what the communists did to the country? They turned this country like North Korea of nowadays. They shut down all the borders. Nobody could go out, nobody could come in. When I say to you like 2 million Albanians living in Kosovo, 600,000 North Macedonia, there were families. One part over there, one part in here. Families were divided forever. Friends were divided forever. If you try to escape from Albania, the soldiers would shoot you at the borders without warning. If you were so lucky to escape from Albania, the worst came to your family. They took your family, even though they could be like professors, singers, artists, it doesn't matter. They were considered as the enemy of the states. They sent them in the villages, they sent them in the mountains. They were forced to work in the mines, they were forced to work at the agriculture. Okay? They were alive, but technically they were dead. Another thing that the communists did to this country is that in 1967 they proclaimed this country as an atheist country. The only atheist country in the world. A country without a religion. Before that, 70% Muslim, 20% Orthodox, 10% Catholic. The communists said, enough, no more religion. And what did they? They destroyed the churches, they destroyed the mosques. They assassinated and imprisoned the imams, they assassinated and imprisoned the priests. This was our time in the communist time, till 1991. In 1991, there were a whole movement in the East Europe. The communism collapsed. We had our first election in 1991. The Democratic Party won the first election. And now since 2013, the socialist country is running the country. We are part of NATO since 2008 and candidate to be part of European Union. Even though there's a history that I'm listing for 20 years, but maybe one day we'll be like that. Okay? Maybe the same day that we will join European Union, the other states will go out. But anyway, any questions so far? No questions. The city of Tirana has never been an important city during our history. If you take in consideration that just in the 17th century, a local ruler in here built an hammam, a small commercial center, and a mosque, and it was called a city. But it has always been as a village. But in 1920, the government decided to make Tirana the capital of Albania, and since that day, Tirana turned into the most important city. Around 1 million inhabitants are living here. Our whole economy is located in here. The best hospitals, the best universities are in here. The only airport since 1 year ago, but the main one is located just 14 kilometers away from here. The square that you see here, this is called the Skanderbeg Square. At the beginning, it was designed from two Italian architects, Di Fausto e Brassini. But the square has never been like that before. In the communist time, in here, there were like 3 fontaines, and the few cars that were at that time were coming. It was like a ring, you know? The square was like a ring. It was like this till 2013. In 2013, when the Socialist Party won the election, at the time our Prime Minister, he used to be the mayor of Tirana for 12 years, he decided to make a new square. This is the new square. It was finished in 2017. They took 1 stone from every country of Albania. They took 1 tree from every city of Albania. The tree is now composed a kind of a forest. Now the square is only for the pedestrians. Sometimes here festivals, sometimes protests, sometimes manifests. In here used to perform Dua Lipa, Rita Ora, last summer Enrique Iglesias and Ricky Martin. Okay? The first building that the Italian built in the square, the National Bank of Albania, 1930. This the bank of our states. It was built from the Italian in 1930. It was renovated recently. In 1935, here used to live an Italian architect. His name was Gerardo Bosio. He designed all the yellow buildings that you see from here. He gave to the city a modern architecture, a new one. All the buildings were built from 1939 to 1941. Now all the buildings are part of the Albanian government. Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Internal Affairs, the municipality of Tirana, behind the mosque. When the communists came to power, they didn't change our lifestyle, but they also changed the styles of the building. they moved from a West architecture into an East architecture. The first building that they built, the Palace of Culture, 1974. At that time it used to have the opera is inside. At that time it used to be the National Library, still the National Library is inside, but now we have also a private library and some bars and restaurants, as you may see from here. Tirana International Hotel. It used to be the most famous hotel in the communist time. Built from the communists in 1979. But if you come to Tirana and if you ask an old man, sir, do you know where Tirana International Hotel is? With this name, I'm pretty sure he will not know the answer. I will tell you why. In the communist time, all the buildings used to be built 5 stories. 5 stories, 5 stories, 5 stories. When this was built, 15 stories. It used to be the highest building of Albania, and especially the old people distinguish this hotel as the hotel of the 15 stories. So, if you make another question, do you know where the hotel of the 15 stories is? Yes, it's in the center of Tirana. At that time, it used to be part of the Albanian government. Communism collapsed, a private enterprise bought it, the same owner that is building in the hotel of maybe 35 stories, I don't know. Okay? The National Museum of Albania, the biggest and the most important museum of Albania, built from the communists 1981, 4 stories. If you enter in that museum, it's like the history class. You start at the 10th century BC, you ended up in 1995. Also the mosaic, it's a poor propaganda mosaic. With that mosaic, the communists wanted to say that the history starts with the leader tribes and the history will end up with the communism. After the communism will be the end of the war. Maybe next time, next time. The only thing that we changed from that mosaic is that our flag, it always used to be like that. Double eagle head and the red color. The communists added the communist star in 1945. We removed it in 1991. Okay? Now, in 2019, it was my last tour, then the pandemic came.